Welcome to Broke Ass to Badass, where heart-led entrepreneurs learn to build the businesses and lives of their dreams with confidence, ease, and joy. This is the anti-hustle movement, and we're your coaches in badassery, Kimi and Pua.
Find out more at bledigital.com, and wherever you're listening to this, be sure to click subscribe so you never miss an episode.
Hey, podcast fam, how are you? This episode is the recording of a webinar that we did last week. This is the one maybe on our social media you saw us talking about it. It's all about bringing more ease and joy to your social media game. So this is all about our kick-ass social media strategies for the sexy, lazy, badass entrepreneur. And in this training, and guys, this is a long one. So be ready, listen to it in chunks if that helps you. You can also listen to it on double speed. Did you know you can do that on a podcast? Maybe not double speed, maybe 1.5, so we don't sound like chipmunks. But that might help you get through. There's a lot of content here, but we wanted to share it with you guys because there is so much valuable content here. And we got a lot of great feedback that this was helpful for people and changed the way that they think about social media for their business. So in this training, we teach you how to spend less than an hour a week to create daily engaging social media content. We teach you our exact strategies that we use for creating and executing a schedule that really feels light and easy and fun when it comes to social media. And of course, how to create engaging content that your fans and followers will love. So our whole point with all of this is to help you to learn to leverage social media to create deep connections and lasting relationships with your clients and your customers, but without having to spend all day long behind a computer, because that is no fun. And that is not why we became entrepreneurs, right? We became entrepreneurs because we want the freedom that this life can provide for us. And that doesn't mean being chained to a computer or your smartphone all freaking day. So hope you enjoy this one. You'll hear us also at the end of this. Full disclosure, this is all about this webinar led into the launch of our program, which is open right now. Our signature Broke Ass to Badass coaching program is our 8-week experience, online marketing experience, where we take you from start to finish, how to create the online business of your dreams. We share all about our program at the end of this training. So all of your questions will be answered about what this program is. And of course, if you have any more questions, you can always reach out to us or find out more at brokeasstobadass.com. The important thing to know is that enrollment closes on February 12th and our spring cohort begins February 13th. We're only running Broke Ass to Badass 2 times this year. So that's just 2 opportunities to get into this amazing experience and program and really this family. All right, guys, without further ado, enjoy the training. All right. Woo, we got some fun stuff to share with you guys today. Y'all ready to learn? Y'all ready to learn? There's your music.
You're like, hurry up and start already.
Okay, guys, first of all, get your notebooks, get pen and paper, get your drinks, go pee real fast if you have to pee, come back. We did that already. And we're, all right, ready to fill your cup. I like that. Okay, let's get started.
Kimi, why don't you take it?
Okay.
Just before Kimi was like, if you want me to take a specific slide, just tell me, just let me know.
Awesome. Well, you all know why you are here and what this is, hopefully, unless you just stumbled upon somebody's computer and they'd already loaded this up. But this is our training. We love the title that we have for it. It's called Social Media Strategies for the Lazy Entrepreneur. And perhaps when you saw this being promoted, when you saw it out there, you're like, oh, that's appealing. And we've talked a lot about lazy, and we'll talk a little bit more about what lazy means in this context. But really what this is all about today is just giving you guys some strategies to bring some ease and joy and a little lightness and a little fun to your social media. If this is something in your online marketing world that feels heavy for you, you're going to love what we share with you today. So let's dive in. Who's our tech guru here? She's like managing the clicking and all the things.
Yes. Awesome. Okay. So thank you guys so much for being here with us today. Our intention today is to just give you guys more than you need to be on your way after this training, to set up a social media schedule that brings you tons of joy and tons of new reach, and to really just hook you up and share as much as we can with you. So if you guys have any questions as we go through this, throw them in the chat. Don't worry about interrupting us or anything. And we're probably going to go for an hour, maybe an hour and a half here. So just get ready. Get ready to take some notes. And we're just these few intro slides are just setting the stage a little bit about us, a little bit about what this is going to be about and what we are about here at BLE Digital. And really, first and foremost, we are here to serve entrepreneurs. And if you are a heart-led entrepreneur, if you are led by your service and led by your passion for what you do, but you're struggling to connect with clients and customers and really use your social media to create those relationships, you are absolutely in the right place. If you're a badass action taker, which you are because you're here, that is the action that you needed to take today, right? But you just aren't sure where to start with all of this. If you've heard social media is a phenomenal place to attract your qualified clients, but you aren't really sure how often, where, why, when, these are questions that we get asked very often and that we teach often to our clients. And if you're looking for an easier, more effective, more fun social media strategy that doesn't make you feel like you're spending all of your time on social media. And we do want to put a little caveat here that social media is really just one of many ways to connect with your clients, right? So this is supposed to be done in conjunction with things like building your email list, which is something that we've been teaching a ton about. And actually, if you guys are interested in some things that we have to share about that after the training, jump over to the tribe on Facebook, BLE Digital Tribe. We had a 3-week training on email list growth. So check that out. It's a great combination to what we're going to share with you today. But just know that this is a piece of the pie, right? So as we go through this, start thinking about how you can use your social media with the other things that you're already doing for your business.
And you can listen to it on our podcast too, if that's the easier format for you. So. We have them all there, the Broadcast to Badass podcast, and there are the most recent 3 episodes, training 1, 2, and 3, so you can listen on the go. All right. Okay, so here's what you're going to learn today. All right, so we're going to be teaching you guys really what we like to think of as easy, lucrative, and fun. We got that from Joe Polish, if you've heard of him, a marketing guru. He talks about things being ELF, like an ELF business, right? Easy, lucrative, and fun. And we really, our whole philosophy at BLE Digital is, like we always say, we kind of don't do things unless they're fun. Pua and I are talking constantly about, like, does this light us up? Does this bring us joy? And if it doesn't, we really work to figure out a way to shift it, because that is what creates a sustainable business model, is when you are in your joy. At least that's what we believe here at BLE Digital. And so the strategies we're going to share we're all about efficiency, all about productivity. We love online marketing. We love social media marketing. We geek out on this stuff. Now, that doesn't mean that we want to be online all freaking day, okay? So hopefully these strategies will help you to spend, improve the quality of time that you're spending online so that you can reduce the quantity of time that you're spending online. Then you can get back to doing what you truly, truly love, unless you truly, truly love spending 24 hours a day on social media, which I don't think so, because you wouldn't be here. And so we get a lot of questions about what to post and where and all of that. We're going to dig into that today, because we know those are hot burning questions for all of you. So by the end of this, you will know exactly. And then, we hear a lot about engagement, right? The importance of engagement. What is engagement? It means that people like what you're sharing. You're talking back and forth. You're getting into conversations with people. And this is all about relationship building. We are firm believers in relationship marketing, right? And really authentic marketing, so that the people that you're talking to, you're getting into 2-way conversations and seeing
if you're a right fit to work with each other. And we believe that social media plays a big role in that. And again, as Pua shared, it really is in conjunction with the other online marketing strategies that we teach as a company. All right.
So we just want to throw this out there in case anybody stumbled upon this. We'll just blow right through these. If you want to stay exactly where you are in your business, not grow, not have more fun, not engage more, not create more relationships, this might not be helpful for you. If you can't handle swearing. Okay, so Kimi and I will try to keep the swearing down here, but
I'm not making any promises.
Fierce potty mouths, and it will for sure slip out. Plus, like, one of our programs and our Instagram handle is called Broke Ass to Badass. So there's that. If you think you've already tried everything and there's nothing more you can try and you know it all and this is just, everything we say you've already done, then you're not going to learn anything else. So maybe, not the best place. And if get upset or offended when we deliver all this free content and then we share a little bit about a program at the very end, just be forewarned. That's going to happen. But we're going to hook you guys up with tons and tons of value first. Okay? So if you guys have researched us and like, Kimi and Pua, scam, and then you found nothing, and then you're like, okay, this does look really cool and legit and fun and wonderful and worth it, we will provide a couple of awesome free bonuses just for you guys for being here with us and hanging out until the end today. So we have what's called the BLE Digital, or the Broke Ass to Badass online lab. I can't really see this because I have the chat open in front of it. Okay, yeah. So we're going to throw in a one-year membership to the lab. And what the lab is, it's a series of standalone online courses designed for entrepreneurs who are a little bit more advanced in their journey, right? So it's advanced growth strategies, profit pyramids, how to monetize your Facebook, how to really create great productivity strategies. And we're always adding to this. A one-year membership is $500. We're throwing that in today as a bonus. And second, a really, really cool bonus here. So this is a personalized social media analysis. So what we'll do is you can send us your social media handles. We'll go in and we'll record an analysis of like top to bottom, super thorough, what's really working well, what you're doing so great, what we suggest you could adjust or shift or change to improve your reach, and really giving you some very tangible advanced strategies on how to leverage new social media tips and tricks and resources.
Awesome. Woohoo. All right. Okay, so let's get into, oh God, this slide kills me every time. Okay, so we're going to just kind of breeze through a little background on us if you don't know us already, and give you like the shortened version of our tale. And so this first picture that you see here is from our first brand, actually, Hot Better Pop. Go ahead, look it up. We like to keep it out there just to remind us how far we've come. And this is one of the first photo shoots that we did. We laugh at when we're laughing looking at this picture because we didn't have a lot of or any clarity about who we were or what exactly we wanted to do, and definitely not what our social media was going to look like. And so, but we look at the sparkle in our eyes. We were very excited and we were finding ourselves, and so then we really began to do some work on figuring out, okay, who is our voice? What are we trying to do here? There were some like major branding pains that we went through. And there's a period of time that often we go through where we begin to show up as we think the world wants us to show up, right? And this is a picture of us here where there was a period of time where we looked like we really exactly like had it, and yet it felt very, what's the word I'm looking for? Like stiff, okay? And it was because we were still finding our voice and still looking for that clarity and really trying to connect with our mission and who our people were.
Can I just throw something in there?
Yes, please.
Like, this is so cringy for us to look at and talk about, but this is where we want, like, if you feel like this is where you are right now and you're like, oh, I do feel stiff. I do feel like I'm just trying to please everybody. I am unsure where I am and where I'm supposed to be. Like, that is such a natural part of all of this for everybody. And we just talked about this the other day. Like, give yourself a little bit of grace and space to suck a little bit at the beginning, because that's how you get to where you're going to be. Right. So
absolutely. Yeah, thank you. And we look at this photo too, and it's us like trying to figure out podcasting and trying to figure out tech. And so it's so great that we captured
with like professional hair and makeup on.
Yeah. Yes.
We hired somebody to do that for us because we thought that's what would like make us look credible and make people listen to us.
Yeah. And you know, we're taking a lot of advice in terms of like where we thought the money might be, like just to be real, you know, with our target market and the vision of our business. And then fast forward to present day, and really over the past, couple of years, like guys, like that is us. And there was a moment that happened that, you know, where after a lot of these growing pains, after the stretchiness that you go through, where you just decide, you know what, let's just be ourselves. Let's just show up and be ourselves. And what we found, and it's a process, and we'll talk you through a lot of that, but the more and more that we showed up authentically as ourselves in our social media, in our copy, in our vision, our mission, and we really got clear that who we wanted to serve were heart-led, badass entrepreneurs, it was like the skies parted and things became so clear. And that's the point at which the truer and more authentic we showed up on our social media, that our social media finally began to grow in the way that we hoped it would, always.
Oh, I just double clicked. Shoot. Oh.
That's good. There it is.
I'm fired. Okay, awesome. So we want to take you on a journey of just our Instagram, which is just a piece of our social media. But a lot of people are really fixated on Instagram. It's a big mystery in how to grow it, how you're supposed to post, what you're supposed to be doing, how often, you know, what hashtags to use, what hashtags do. Am I going to be, you know, punished for using the wrong hashtags and all of these things, right? And so we just really want to share with you our very authentic social media journey from 2015. This was our old brand, Hot Better Pop. Things were kind of all over the place. We call it the hot mess era of our life. Like, things were truly all over the place on our social media and everywhere else. But, you know, we had 181 followers, which we thought was like awesome. And it was awesome. And we celebrated every one of those people. And we want you guys to really like internalize this. Like, if you also have 181 followers and you're like, oh no, this is where they started, this is the before. Like, no, it is so, so powerful to just start where you're at and work with what you have and be grateful for every single person that has decided to follow your social media. That's a vote of confidence in whatever it is that you have already been sharing. Okay. So no judgment. We're just sharing this for comparison. We had an average of 15 likes per post. Nobody would ever really comment. The branding was so all over the place. And we spent a ton of time creating content, creating images, writing the copy for this. We didn't really have a schedule, so we shared this. We'd post whenever, wherever. So yeah, that was kind of the vibe back then.
All right. Sorry, there's a delay on the transition of the slide.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. I'm like just pointing at me, but it's not changing. So this is our Instagram now. Definitely follow us if you're not following us at Broadcast to Badass. And look, it's just such a fun place to be for us now. And there were many years with social media where I think what happens is too, when you're feeling frustrated in a certain area of your business, you don't particularly feel like continuing to show up there again and again, right? Because you're feeling frustrated and you feel like you're putting in all this energy and effort, but things aren't shifting or changing. And so when you begin to enjoy your time in a place and you build up that competence, confidence loop, you tend to enjoy being there a little bit more. And then that just increases the momentum. And so now our followers are growing, and they're growing steadily. And we definitely get more comments on our posts and likes, and we have a much more consistent branding. And what we're going to be talking about with you today is how consistent branding and having a strategy, having a plan, and getting really clear on your vibe, your tribe, your mission, all of that is what's going to really help you to spend less time on your social media. So as Pua said, we were spending hours creating content and agonizing, and like not just create the creation of the content, but I'm sure you guys can all relate that feeling of like, oh my God, what am I going to post? I don't know what to say, right? And you're putting all this time and energy into it. And again, not seeing the results that you're after. So now this is a small portion of the business, of our business. And we have figured out ways to be super effective, leveraging technology, leveraging automation, leveraging branding and templates and all the things we're going to share with you today, so that we spend less time than ever on our social media, but have better results than ever before. So that's what we want for you.
Sorry, let us know if you guys see the slides and us, or just the slides, or just Kimmy, or just me. I don't know. I'm not sure if there's something funky going on, but let us know and we'll try to adjust it. As long as you guys are having a good experience with whatever you see, then it's all good.
Yeah, give us a yes. I was going to say thumbs up. You can't do a thumbs up in this chat. Give us a yes. Let us know. Okay, seeing us.
Good. Share. Yeah, I think if you're watching on your phone, it might be a little bit of a different experience. But we like to know if you can see both of us when if the other person's talking, because we have RBF sometimes. Anyway, the slides with only one of you on the phone. Do you see the person that's talking, or do you see one of us at all times? You see stats. Slide. Okay, perfect. Okay. I think we're good to go. Only the person talking. Awesome. Okay, here we go. So we're going to talk today a lot about analytics and what that means, how to track them, and what to pay attention to. So the thing we want to share here is that you can't tell what type of content people are going to fall in love with, right? So it's so crucial to just share consistently, create content you think is great that people are going to really, resonate with. And then look at your analytics so that you can make adjustments as you go, right? So we'll get into this much more later, but here, it wouldn't really have occurred to me that those pictures of us and this quote post would perform better than the other things that we've shared. But for some reason, and this is a little bit older, these were taken at the end of last year, but these were the posts that did really well. So what we tend to do is look at what does well in our analytics and create more of those types of posts and content, right? So if you guys are starting to want to be a little bit more intentional with your social media, these are things that you really want to start to pay attention to.
Yay. I'm waiting for the slide to
change.
We got to have a little banter in between the slides. And we are going to be talking about Facebook today too. And as you are well aware, I'm sure that Facebook and Instagram, they're owned by the same company now. So since Facebook owns Instagram, everything integrates really, really well. And that can actually work in our favor as social media marketers, right? Because we can do things like auto sharing and really leverage these two platforms and have them work together. So, I
didn't change it. These numbers are a little bit older too.
Yeah, these are a little bit. Right. So we have both a Facebook group that we manage. That's our BLE Digital Tribe. So if you're not there, you're welcome to come on in, join the party. You can get there by going to bledigital.com/tribe. That's our Facebook group, our private Facebook group. And then we have, of course, our Facebook page, which is BLE Digital. So our Instagram is @BroadcastToBadass, just to clarify, and that is a product and a service that we provide. It's the name of our podcast, the name of our program, and that's all under BLE Digital. All right. So yeah, so same thing. We're both Instagram and Facebook we're going to be talking about today. And we're going to be talking a little bit about why we focus on those two platforms. Okay, so this is a little bit about where we are today with our social media. We really are not spending a ton of time creating content. We block our time, and there are weeks that we spend seriously an hour a week creating our content. This is all about ways that you can hook up your future self. And why do we want social media anyway, right? Like what is the point of social media marketing? It's this amazing tool that we have available to us to be able to reach a larger audience with our message, with our products, with our services, whatever it is. We are living in an amazing time where all of us have a platform. We all have access to hundreds, thousands, millions of people at our fingertips. So it's a really, really amazing free tool that we have available to us. And it's, again, as we talked about though, for us, it's not just about quantity of followers or quantity of time that you're spending on there. It's about quality. And we pride ourselves on the fact that our social media following, our social media connections become our friends. They become our clients. They become our tribe. They become a part of our movement. And that's what we want for you, because it's all about relationships, right? The whole point of social media is for it to be social. And I think sometimes in our pursuit of our goals and numbers, we can forget that social media is meant to be social. So we also find that it's really, really important for ourselves and for our clients to have work-life integration and balance in their lives, right? So it would be out of integrity for us to recommend to our clients or to ourselves to be online all day long in the pursuit of your dream, right? Because we all know that spending all day online is going to have a negative impact on our health, our physical health if we're sitting down all day, our mental health, our emotional health. And so I don't think that there's anybody that would say like, I feel so great after being on Instagram for 5 hours. So our intention for ourselves and for our clients is always to figure out how you can spend the least amount of time doing things that may drain your energy and create the most amount of time doing things that lift you up physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So that's what we want for you.
Awesome. So we have a question from Kylie. I'm going to read it to you, and then should we answer it now or at the end? She's wondering what she should use a personal or business profile on Instagram.
Yeah, we're actually going to dig into that. Let's put a pin in that, because there's a couple ways that we can answer that, and we'll definitely come back to that for you. That's such an awesome question.
I know. So good. Okay, guys, there's 2 more slides, and then we're going to dig into 7 steps of epic content. So we just really want to reiterate that we've created this business for entrepreneurs, because as Kimi said, we follow what lights us up and we drop what feels heavy. We worked with, individuals in the corporate space. We worked with CEOs. We worked with executives. And while that was great, it didn't light us up in the same way that business owners light us up. And for us, this whole business is designed to pay forward what we've learned, because we had to pull ourselves out of the shit. We had to pull ourselves out of those super, super tough times as a business owner where all we want to do is throw in the towel, because it is just too damn hard to figure out how to make money. And we had credit card debt. It was hard. And I do believe that many entrepreneurs can relate with that. And thank God I had Kimi here, because I would have been like, I don't know how. I cannot do this. This is too much. I'm going back to working for somebody else. Thank God we didn't do that, because this is so much fun. It is so fulfilling. It's so worth it. And that's really why we're here today, and why we're here with BLE Digital for the long run. And so today we're here to share with you all of the things that we've learned to help grow our social media from nothing to where we are today. And we're always learning. We're always absorbing new things. And especially with social media, we were just talking about this the other day. Instagram, for example, like the strategies that we use for Instagram today are different. They've evolved from what we've been using like up until 2 weeks ago, so this stuff changes so quickly, and it's really fun for us to keep, up to date with all of these trends, and for us to be able to share what we learn with all of you, the people who love what you do in your business, but don't love to keep up with these trends. That is why we're here. That is what we do, why we do what we do. So thank you for being here. Thank you for inspiring us and giving us this space and your attention for the next hour or so. We really love you and we appreciate you.
Yay, we love you.
Yay.
And I'm so grateful for you, Pua. I don't know what I would have done without you.
Okay, so before we dig in, just a couple of things to keep in mind. This is probably my most recent favorite quote. Get out of your own way. It is not about you. And this is something that helps me across all walks of life. And it really addresses fear. When we're afraid to put something out there, when we're afraid that we're going to mess something up, when we're afraid that we aren't enough or that we don't know enough or that we don't have enough money or that we don't have enough time or energy or whatever that is, those are our own fears coming from our ego and trying to protect us when we don't need protecting, right? So if there is anything that you take from today, it is just get out of your own way and take the actions that you need to take to get to where you want to go. Oh, and that's number 2. Be the badass action taker that we know that you are, and you're here. So obviously that is who you are. And for the love of God, own your gifts. We talk about this a lot with our clients. For us to create a business and to go out there and to share what we do, share our gifts, share what we love, share what we know, is day by day making the world a better place by making people happier, healthier, more aligned, more capable, more empowered. And it is so crucial that you go out there and you do the same. It is your responsibility in this world to own your gifts and provide the solutions to the world that we so desperately need. Okay? If you guys are in, just put something epic in the chat.
I'm in.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do it.
Yes. Okay. So here's the overview of our 7 steps. You can get your favorite pen out and get ready, and you can write a big number 1 because we're about to dig into our training. So just an overview here, we're going to talk about your big vision. We're going to talk about getting inspired and experimentation. Pua mentioned being intentional, right? We're going to dig into that a little bit deeper. We're going to talk about planning out your content creation once you get clear on that big vision. We'll talk about distribution schedule, promoting and connecting, and then reflecting, analyzing, and rinse and repeat. Okay, so let's dig into number 1. So if you guys have followed us for any amount of time, you've heard us say the words big vision before. And this is where we always start, no matter what incarnation of our business we've been in, whether it was doing fitness training way back when, that's how Pua and I met, or doing productivity coaching for corporations, or working with entrepreneurs. The foundation of everything is your big vision, right? So we have a weekly planning process. Some of you probably have your hands on that already and are using that. We're big believers of checking back in with your big vision every single week. Why? Because everything stems from that, right? If we don't know where we're going, any road will get us there, as I think it was Lewis Carroll that says that. So your big vision is it's like your overarching blueprint and your map to whatever it is that you desire, right? So what happens is if we don't start with that foundation of clarity, if we don't slow down enough to really take the time to ask ourselves powerful questions like, what do I want? What do I want my business to look like? What is my big vision, not just for my social media, but for my business, for my life, for my quality of life? If we don't take the time to do that, then we tend to end up feeling very overwhelmed and scattered. And we end up I don't want to say wasting, but kind of wasting a lot of time, right? It's the opposite of efficiency, because we're without that big vision, without that foundation of clarity, we're like, okay, maybe I should try this, or maybe I should try this, or maybe I should try that, or what about this, or I don't know. And we end up taking all of these different roads, but we don't know where we're going, right? So you can imagine the spins that come from that. And it can make us feel like, yeah, that we're just like moving so fast in a world that is already moving really fast. So the first step with anything, social media included, is to really take a big picture vision and ask yourself some questions like, what is my big vision for my social media? Who is it that I'm trying to reach? What is it that I want to do? What are my goals? What is this all leading to? And as you'll hear throughout the rest of this training, we're going to be referencing back to this big vision. That's why it's number one. Okay, so we can give you some tools and stuff and share a little bit more about how to get clarity on that big vision, but definitely a great place to start would be downloading our free planner if you don't have that already. So that's our badass, I always forget what to call it. It's our badass business planner for entrepreneurs, something like that. Business planner for entrepreneurs. And you can get that at bledigital.com/badass. And that will walk you through some questions that you can ask to just get clear about what you want for your business, your life, and of course, your social media.
I'm going to throw in a couple more things here. And I know that this is like, it's frustrating in a training like this, even in our program, like week 1 is about creating clarity. And it's so tempting to just want to dig in because we're excited. And the excitement will remain, and it will be more amplified and easier to take action on when you have clarity on your big vision. So, and remember, like your social media is a piece of the pie, right? So say your big vision is this month I want to serve 100 clients, or this year, right? I want to serve, let's say 500 clients and break $1 million. And the thing we want to share here with your big vision is to release any sort of limitations, things that you think might sound crazy. You're like, I can't make $1 million in a year. That's too crazy. Let me dial that back. No, set your sights on big, epic, amazing goals and leverage the tools at your disposal to create a plan to get there. And what I mean by that is, if you have a goal for $1 million in 2019, oh my God, we're in 2019. That's so crazy. And today's the last day of January. What? Okay, so if you have a goal for $1 million in 2019, what will you do each week to grow your social media in order to nurture the relationships, right? Create know, like, and trust factor with the people that you're connecting with. Drive them to your website or your whatever it is that you're offering, or wherever you want people to go. And we're going to get into this later. I'm getting ahead of myself. But my intention with this is the big vision is going to be the steering wheel that drives your ship. Okay? It is so, so important. And to just give yourself the time to step back, get clear on this, and then put it somewhere where you're always going to be reminded of it. Okay? And I want to show you something. This is on my bulletin board all the time. Kiwi gave me this. It's a $1 million bill.
I gave her $1 million. That's the kind of friend I am.
Yeah. But just keep this top of mind always. Okay. Rant done. Okay. So step number 2, I gotta calm down, guys. This just makes me really excited.
Never calm down. Don't calm down.
Okay. So the thing here, again, we talked a little bit about fear and letting yourself really shift that into a place of excitement rather than debilitating fear that makes you not do anything, right? So let this be more of an experiment than a set in stone plan that if you don't execute it and if it doesn't happen exactly the way that you thought it would, then you failed, right? This is about inspiration. It's about motivation. It's about experimentation and connecting, right? So first, especially if you do not have any sort of social media plan, or up until now, social media has felt a little bit confusing to you, take a step back and go into observer mode. Just go on Instagram and just scroll through, go on Facebook, do some mindless searching and just see what captures your attention from other people, right? So how do you engage? What creates that action, or what inspires that action from you, right? What posts do you comment on? What do you double tap? What do you like? What gets you to send a private message? Start to kind of take an inventory of that if you want to take notes on it, but start to be kind of mindful on social media. So I don't know if this has kind of taken the mindless fun out of it for us, but now when we're on social media, it's no longer just a kind of side activity. We're very, very aware when we're on social media, right? So it's not like, oh, what a beautiful picture. It's like, I wonder why they posted this picture today. Let's look at the caption. Let's go look in their bio. What links do they have, right? And so it becomes this analysis all the time. And after you do that, start to experiment with your posts, with your content, with your graphics. And again, really look at your analytics. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a slide coming up. But start to see how other people are engaging on your social media. And is that in alignment with the way that you engage? And I think we're going to talk about this later, but something that I want to kind of just throw in right now, the more you are, the more authentic you are, the more in alignment with your brand that you are, the more vulnerable perhaps that you can be, the more you will naturally attract the right people for your energy, for your product, for your service, for your vibe, right? Where we start to attract funky followers is when we're trying to please all people because we are not ourselves. So when you get frustrated that your followers aren't taking the action, or, say you are a coach and you put out a call for a breakthrough call and you get all these funky people booking calls with you, and you're like, I don't understand where these people are coming from. It's because the energy that you put out through these posts wasn't in alignment with your vibe, your energy, your service, your products, whatever that is. So I don't know, if you guys don't know, Kimi and I, we are like a total blend of like tangible and very woo, but it works. So yeah.
We're like practa-woo. Practical and woo.
Oh, Kylie says I get loads of men trying to chat me up. Yeah.
Yeah, Instagram's a weird place.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So, if you're here, we can assume this is something that you want to be putting attention on in your business, right? It's something that you're wanting to learn, you're wanting to grow, get better at. Maybe you have goals this year to improve your social media marketing. So dedicate a little bit of time to this each day and think about this as like being in social media school. We love the idea of having like a notebook. And so every time then that you go on to Instagram or whatever it is, just take some notes and be like, wow, and let it inspire you and let it inspire the things that you're going to be creating, and keep track of that. We're going to talk a little bit about batching too, but having a notebook that helps you to keep track of inspiration as it hits will help you to avoid that like blank canvas phenomenon that happens when we sit down and we're like, oh my God, what should I post? Well, if you have a notebook that's dedicated to this, then you can just hit that notebook, your social media notebook, and say, oh yeah, okay, that's right. I wanted to talk about this, or that post excited me, right? So this is all about tracking, and you'll find a tracker too in our free planner, because that's the other piece of this too. The more that you track and put attention on your social media, what is the thing? What we give attention to will grow, right? Whatever we give attention to expands. And so put some attention to this and watch your numbers grow. So that's the woo part of it. Yay, intentional is Sarah's word of the year. That's a good one. Okay, so be intentional. Okay, let's get a little bit woo. So intention is such a badass word, and we are all about setting intentions in our business before we start our day, before we show up for a webinar. And why? Because it infuses whatever we're going to be doing with the energy that we want to bring to it, right? And being intentional, like to us, it's almost better than goals too, like the word goals, because intention is like a feeling versus goals is like, it's like there's the what is the opposite of hitting your goal? Like, people feel that is failure. There's no failure here. There's only feedback when you're creating your social media, when you're setting intentions, and when you're bringing your best self to something that you're working on growing and expanding. So again, the energy that you put into anything will be felt by those that are receiving it, right? On an energetic level. There was this great meme that I saw that said, there is no Photoshop filter for your energy. So bringing some intention to what the energy is that you have in your body, mind, and spirit before you create your copy, before you post that post, is so powerful, and people will feel it. Have you ever just read a post and you're just like, it stops you because you're like, oh my gosh, like I can feel this person's heart in their writing. And that is because that person like got themselves in the vortex, right? Got themselves in that pure energy of intention, clear intention, before they posted, before they shared. And
have you ever read a post where you're like, wow, that's a bunch of bull.
Yeah,
not in the vortex.
Yeah, you can tell when people are like dialing it in too, right? And so a lot of the strategies that we share are to help you to leverage those times when spirit, whatever, like you're channeling stuff through and you're really feeling the feels, and to capture those moments and then share it in a way that is effective and works for you, so that you're not having to feel like creative or inspired on cue either, which is actually the opposite of so it's sort of counterintuitive, right? We feel like creativity and inspiration just wants no boundaries. But in fact, when we have some structure, when we bring some intention, and a lot of the structure that we're going to be sharing today, that's actually where creativity can blossom and bloom. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in coming up. But again, our focus here is heart, like we work with heart-led entrepreneurs. You are here because you are a heart-led entrepreneur. We are here because authentic marketing connects to you. Like you wouldn't be here if that didn't resonate with you, because that's our style, that's our vibe, which is why we have attracted you here, right? So if you are, everything that we do and everything certainly that you're going to be doing is going to be infused with an intention of service, because otherwise what's the point, right? There is a message, a mission, a product, a service that you believe in, that you're trying to get out to the world, that you want to share about, that lights you up. And so bring that intention of service. And again, that's what helps us to shine that flashlight away from us, right? Like it is not about us, and let it shine out on those that we are meant to serve. This is going to help you with all of those fears that come up with social media. And let me just run through a few of our, we all got them. We like to call them our basic bitch fears. We all got them. Fear of, I'm not enough, I'm not young enough, I'm not cute enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not this enough, whatever it may be, right? Or I don't know about this, I don't know enough about this, I don't have the skills, I don't have the ability, I'm too shy. Whatever these things are, they all start with what word? I. So again, remember, back to what Pua said, it's not about you. It's about those that need your gifts. They need your message. That's what this whole training is about. That's what everything that we do is about, is helping you to get out of your own way, helping ourselves to get out of our own way, so that we can help those that need our special gifts and services. And yes, and so that you're always creating your content from this high vibe place of alignment, clarity, going back to that big vision, right? And total effing badassery.
It's a choice, right? It's like the polarity of content creation. There is the content, right? There's the image, the copy, the graphic, whatever. How did you get there? Because we know that is the destination. You are going to create the content. Now, was the energy behind it, right? There's the positive and the negative. So was it from a place of service, or was it from a place of fear of, losing someone to your competition? Was it from a place of creating a relationship, or from a place of not wanting to lose the sale, right? So you see what I mean? There are multiple mindsets to get you to the same result. we found that the energy infused from the positive side of this kind of polarizing thing, I know this is like so out there, just hang on, stay with us, but it's true, right? And every single day, every action that we take, everything we create, we get to choose from what place we are coming from to create this. Right? So if competition has been on your mind and you have been operating from that place, maybe today's the day that you try operating from the other side and just see how that feels. For us, we found it is way easier, way more fun, way faster, right? And it just feels better. So take it or leave it. Moving on. Step 4. Okay. So Kimi and I, for a very long time, did corporate productivity coaching. And we went in and we had this whole long 3-hour thing. It was called Purposeful Productivity. And we would work with corporations and big groups of employees to give them all of these productivity strategies because their boss called us and they were like, hey, so my team isn't hitting their numbers. They're kind of goofing off at work and I find them going to coffee a lot. And, I don't really know what to do. They don't seem to be very productive. And we went in and we gave them all these strategies to help them to get more work done in less time and possibly hate their job a little bit less, maybe is what we found, right? And so with entrepreneurs, we kind of find that the issues that we tackle from the productivity space are the opposite. Because we love what we do, because we're often the only person running our business or one of a very small team, people tend to work way more than they need to, right? They don't know how to shut it down. They don't know how to create time for self-care, for relationships, for friends, for family, any of that. So we always infuse our productivity strategies into everything that we teach, but now it's geared towards entrepreneurs. So these are some of those. And this is for social media, but it's also just across the board, some really great strategies. So you want to do really any content creation during your peak times. We naturally kind of already know our peak times. Kimi and I are both very much morning people. So for us, our brains are firing. We're super creative in the morning. That doesn't mean that we can't create things at other times of the day. And for many of us, we actually have multiple points of creativity. So like for me, definitely morning and sometimes late at night. Sometimes, not usually, right? So know yourself, know your peak times, and then start to schedule out when you're going to do your content creation during these times, right? So your peak times are for creativity, creating graphics, writing copy. And then the times that you're not at peak, yes, maybe it's for a nap or going out to lunch or coffee with a friend, but it can also be for things that are a little bit lower on your priorities list, right? So maybe it's checking email or doing any sort of data entry that you need to do or anything like that that takes a little bit less brain power, right? So time blocking is your friend. And if you feel scattered, it is a very loud signal to you to start to step back and do some weekly planning. Okay, I already know I'm going to throw a lot of things at you guys. So get ready to take notes. You're going to get the recording to this, so don't freak out if you miss anything. I know I kind of talk a little bit fast. Okay, so I'm so excited. So we often talk about, I'm going to go totally off script. Sorry, but this is going to be fun.
Do we have a script?
we have a slide. I'm going to go off slide. Okay, so there are, oh my gosh, I don't know where to start. I wish we had another slide. I'm going to try to be very clear about this, but ask questions if I lose you. There is something called the Eisenhower Decision Matrix. Not what we're supposed to teach today, but you can Google it. If you Google it right now, you will probably find something with an axis, and it breaks up. Basically, it's a way to break up your tasks with things that are either like urgent and important or not important or somewhere in between. Okay? So when we feel, if you guys have ever felt like you are going through your day, you sit at your computer from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. and you are working all day. Say that again, please. Ada, you're going to want to Google the Eisenhower decision matrix. Okay. And then it is going to basically give you a grid, and it will break up your tasks by importance and urgency.
Axis.
Okay? If you guys don't axis. Yeah. If you guys don't have this in front of you, this might be a little bit confusing to visualize. So I encourage you to Google the Eisenhower decision matrix. Okay. But basically the reason why I'm bringing this up is if you feel like you are going about your day start to finish and you are busy, you're doing things all day long, you are working your little tail off, but at the end of the day, you don't feel like you've gotten anything accomplished, you are spending your time on low-level tasks. These are just little things that tend to keep us feeling busy. They kind of got to get done at some point, but they don't typically move things forward. They're not going to create big gains in your business or in your personal life or nurture your relationships, right? When we time block, we want to give low-level tasks a fixed amount of time so that you're not doing them all day long and then you feel like you've wasted your whole day, okay? These are things that are often important but not that urgent, I think, right? So when we are talking about time blocking, in your peak times, you want to schedule things that will move things forward. This is often content creation. This is often batch creating, right? Creating multiple images, doing copy for multiple posts in one sitting when your creativity is firing, when you're feeling really good. Okay? This is a game changer, and I'm not going to go into the other quadrants in the matrix. We have other trainings for that. But I really want you guys to internalize what it means to and what it feels like to spend your entire day doing low-level tasks that don't move anything forward versus creating the time in your schedule to do the things that matter. Okay? Like, so not the best way to describe that, but it is so, so, so important. So the last thing that we're going to share with you guys is using themes, right? So for us, we theme our days. Mondays, we take off because weekends are often full. You want to have a weekday to go and do things like go to the post office and the bank and the doctor. So because we make our own schedule, Mondays are often, we encourage you to do the same because it's awesome. Tuesdays, we do deep work. We get a lot done on Tuesdays, and that is where we will do a lot of our content creation. Wednesdays, we save for calls, for trainings. Thursdays, we do podcasting. Kimi will produce our podcast on Thursdays. And Friday is kind of a wild card. So what this does for us is it takes away the guilt of not doing something on a specific day, right? So if we don't podcast on a Tuesday, we're not freaking out because we know that we've scheduled that on Thursday. Does this make sense? And does this help? And are you guys totally lost, or are you okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Let's move on.
So
I'm sweating. I'm so excited.
You know what's so important about what Pua just shared is that often when we think about social media, we lump it into this one big thing that we feel like we should be doing. And if you take nothing else away from this, really think about breaking up your social media into these different stages that you can give time blocks for each, right? So what Pooh was saying is like content creation is very different from distributing, right? Your content is very different from going on your Instagram and engaging with people. And so each of these are different parts of the social media overall process. And of course, there's the big vision piece of it too, right? So there's the big vision, then there's the content creation itself, there's the loading up, the distribution, which we're going to talk next, there's the promoting and the engagement that happens, and then there's the period of time where you're going to want to be reflecting and analyzing and taking that bigger picture again, right? And then rinse and repeat. So what we're sharing with you today is that when you start seeing social media as these separate sort of types of tasks, it's going to help you save time. Because what happens is typically is that we think about it as this one big lump, like, oh my gosh. So I'll take you through like how we used to do our social media. So sit there. Okay. What should we post about today? I don't really know. Okay. Look online, try to look for some inspiration. I don't know. Oh my God, I'm not inspired. Call Pua. Pua, what should we post today? I don't know. Then we talk about something else, right? And then finally, okay, I'm going to go into Canva. I'm going to create something. Okay, create I hate it. It's not my peak time. It's the worst graphic ever, but that's okay. I just got to get something up there, put it up there. Oh my goodness, what am I going to say about this, right? What are we going to say? Try to figure it out. No strategy in place. And so we don't necessarily know who it's for or when it's landing. We put it out there. Meanwhile, oh my gosh, I guess I better engage on all of these posts and here and that. And this whole process has taken us how long? That is how you're going to end up spending all day long on social media versus how we do things now, which is on a content creation day, we sit down, we put our phones on do not disturb. We have a very clear vision of our big vision and our strategy. For example, right now we are in, we have enrollment open for our program, right? So what is the theme of our social media? Where it's going to be featuring our graduates and our amazing people that have been through the program. And so that theme, that focus, that intention makes it so easy to sit down, again, phone on do not disturb, and create all of this content. We already have the images because they've been sent to us because that was part of our strategy, right? We do all of this writing. And then we get to the distribution section of it, the loading it all up. And some of that, as Pua said, can be done at a time where it's not the same type of brain activity, right? I don't need to use my peak time to load up a post in an app. So let's talk about that next. But I think that kind of helps put things, help you guys start thinking in this different way that it's going to save you just so much time. We promise. There is a statistic that says that whenever you're in the flow, every time you do something that takes you out of the flow, it takes you 5 to 20 minutes to get back in the flow. That's how we end up spending so much time and doing things, and we feel like we haven't gotten anything done. It's like the same idea as being on a freeway. If you think about yourself on a freeway, and like every couple minutes you're taking the off ramp and then getting back on, and then taking the off ramp and getting back on. And social media especially can pull us down that rabbit hole. So we have to be really intentional about how we're spending our time. Okay, so let's talk about distribution. So this is going to go back to your big vision. So again, we hear a lot. Where do I post? What platform should I be on? What time is the best time? The best time to post is the time that your audience is on social media, right? And so there is no best time because it's going to matter who your people are. That's why the big vision is so important. So for example, if your demographic is stay-at-home moms, well, it's nap time, whatever that may be and if it's local moms, it's local to that area, right? Whatever that time zone is, what is nap time for those moms? Perhaps it is, if you're working for, if your ideal demographic is 9 to 5ers, then middle of the day may not be the best time unless your demographic is 9 to 5ers that hate their job, then maybe that's the best time. So you really want to be thinking again, and analytics can help you, certainly. We'll talk a little bit about that in a bit. But yeah, think about where your people are. Now, why is this great as a lazy strategy? Because what this means is if you know where your people are, you don't need to be in all the places. And that is so key. We have people coming to us in our program and they're like, okay, so should I be on Snapchat? Should I be on this? What do you think about YouTube? And it always comes back to your big vision about who your people are. Because if your demographic is not on Snapchat, well, guess what? You don't have to be there. And then you've just saved yourself a lot of time. So again, getting clear is going to save you a tremendous amount of time so that you can just focus on where your people are. And typically your people are where you are, right? So that's the other piece of this. We're working with a digital media client and we were asking them, their favorite place to be, because that matters too, right? If you don't like being on a particular platform, don't go and grow a platform just because, right? So this is about your joy and where you enjoy being as well, because your ideal demographic most likely likes being there. We've alluded to the fact that we are big fans of scheduling, right? So we've heard from some will say, like the the thing that comes up for people when we talk about scheduling posts is that, oh, like I only like to share when I feel inspired. Well, that works when it works. And when it doesn't work, it don't work, right? So the problem with waiting to be inspired is that it's unpredictable, and its consistency is proven to be is really effective in growing your audience, the know, like, and trust factor. And most of us have an intention to be consistent. And inspiration, we can't always control that, right? We can't always control when the muse is going to be there and when we're going to feel called to share about something. Sometimes things happen sporadically, and just because you've scheduled something doesn't mean that you can't move things around. But scheduling is going to end up saving you so much time and stress. It's just going to be a tremendous relief. And so we are big fans of Later. That's the app that we use. We've tried all of them. There's so many out there. You could just, we recommend experimenting if that's your thing, if you enjoy that, or you can just settle on the one that we love. So after trying all of them, we love Later for a variety of reasons. But what Later allows you to do is schedule out your Instagram posts. And so then once we have our Instagram posts scheduled out, and by the way, they have a new addition that now you can schedule out stories on Later, which is pretty cool. And you can either have it auto post, or you can have it notify you, and then you can go in and post it yourself if you'd like to. Like some people like to hide the hashtags, or if you want to at that time go in there and engage and or share to Facebook, which is what we do. So we like to have the notification, unless we're in a really busy season, we like to have it notify us, and then we go into the app, post it, but it's already all the heavy, deep work has already been done, right? Because the content has already been created. So there's other tools that you can use that will, if your people happen to be on Twitter or some other platforms that you also want to be linking to, there are other apps like, that you could be using that will go to all of the different apps. So where do I want to go from there? Yeah, so I think that's good. So this is just about creating your distribution schedule. You also want to be asking yourself, how often do you want to post? And again, this is more a question about how often, like, what does the rest of your life look like? This is the part of the big vision. If you are in transition, you have a lot of other things going on, maybe it's once a day, maybe it's once a week, we don't know. But consistency is critical. And there may be seasons where you up the frequency, right? But decide on a frequency, and then here's our favorite secret sauce for consistency: tell somebody about it for accountability, right? So yeah, get your distribution, and remember that the distribution piece of the puzzle is something that you can do during your less than peak hours.
So Kylie's asking, can you use Later on your PC? And then to kind of piggyback on her question earlier, do you need to have a business profile, or can you use a personal profile with Later?
Yeah, so that's the best thing about Later. And what Later allows you to do is, from your laptop, your PC, your computer, you can type out. You can put emojis, you can do all the things. It also allows you to, so typing is so much easier, right, than trying to create posts on our phone. So that's the other benefit of scheduling something out. And then you do it from your app. If you are getting notified, you'll submit it from your app. Or if you want to auto post it, you can just all do everything on your laptop, and it just auto shares it for you. And that's only though, and this leads into your question, if you have a business account. It will auto share only if you have a business account. If you don't have a business account, you can still get the notifications, and then you just copy and paste it to Instagram, which is a little extra step, but honestly, it doesn't take that much time. And again, if you want to hide your hashtags in the comments, like some people do, some people feel that it gives like less of a, spammy look or something. and we're not going to go too deep into hashtag strategy in this. This is like online marketing and social media marketing is like a really big topic, but we do encourage hashtag use, and with Later, you can save your hashtags. So that is like a total time saver right there. You can have your saved hashtags based on maybe Motivation Monday or Tip Tuesday or whatever it is, and you just take that block of hashtags and drop them in each time. So total time saver. And so, yes, so Kylie, for the difference between a personal and a business account, you'll be able to do more automated stuff with a business account with some of these automation tools, but also you'll be able to get analytics. So that would be the other piece of it, why converting over to a business account would be a great idea, because you can see then all the analytics for your posts, for your stories, which can help you with creating your content. If you do, however, want to some people have two, right? One for the business and one for your personal use, which is really just friends and family. I'm thinking about the comment that you had earlier, because as you grow, just know that you're going to be exposed to many people that you don't know, right? If you're think about those bigger goals. Let me tell you that now, being with thousands of people following us, we get some weird DMs too, okay? So if you want to have a sacred space where you can kind of, control a little bit more who's going to be following you and sliding into your DMs, then that might be reason enough to have two separate as well. But again, it's all about your time and how much, do you want to be managing two accounts? Those are all personal questions. I hope that helps. And I just delete those, by the way, or block them.
But if you did want to convert your personal to a business account, it's quite easy, right? And in fact, I remember them asking, right? It would prompt over and over again, do you want to switch this to a business profile? And you just have to press yes.
Mm-hmm. It's really simple.
Really easy.
Oh my God, They watch you live. Girl, I know. What is up with that? It's like they're just trolling for live videos. If it makes you feel any better, our dog got some other dog. We have an account for our dog at Toy Dog Scully. And we were working on some Instagram growth. And she had other dogs sliding in her DMs. They're like, hey, you're cute. I was like, what? What world are we living in?
I want you to take this one too.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So then this is the next section. I think about it as sections of our brain. To me, they're different parts of our brain that we're using for each of these. And that's why it's so important to separate these out instead of lumping social media, social media marketing in this one big lump. And so let's talk about, promoting and connecting. So this is different from distributing, right? Distributing is okay, you have loaded it all up, it's gonna be posted, or you've just posted it. Now it's about drawing eyes to that and engaging, right? So if we take that extra step of engaging. And what do I mean by engaging? Engaging is anybody that's commented on your post, you go and you like it, you respond to them, you respond to people, to your direct messages if they're not weirdos, and you just kind of spend a little bit of time maybe looking at other people's posts, maybe sharing other people's content, liking, maybe you're following hashtags that are in your industry. And if you're not following hashtags, that's a great thing to do, by the way, to just kind of get connected with other people in your industry, and liking on their, commenting on other people's posts, right? So there's this promoting and connecting. And especially let's talk about Instagram, where we're talking about, Instagram posts versus stories. Now, your post, they say something 6% of your followers are actually going to see your posts. What? I know. I was that is the craziest statistic ever. It's so sad. But it's okay, because we can use our stories to help drive people to those posts, right? So that's a really great way to leverage your stories. You can think about, and that's kind of the feel, right? For those of us that are on Instagram enough, we kind of get it. It's your feed is your sort of more polished, aesthetically pleasing look, the grid, and then your stories are your behind the scenes, and they can help to direct people to the post. So that's really critical. And you can, once this is what we do, we post something and then we'll share it to our stories, because there's 400 million people watching stories every day. And if you're putting hashtags in your stories, things like that. And just, again, your followers are probably more likely to see your story than they are your post. So use your stories to, again, promote the post. You can leverage the other platforms you're on. Maybe it's about your email marketing, right? That we've been talking about. So letting people know that you have a new post up, letting people know on your Facebook, making sure that you have shared your Instagram post to your Facebook, taking that Facebook post and sharing it to your group with a little comment about what it's about, right? So there is this period of time after that we need to promote and connect and engage and bring the social back to social. And again, we don't recommend doing this during the same time that you're creating. That is what's going to keep you stuck and feeling like you're putting so much time and energy and effort into social media, but that it's like so overwhelming and heavy that it makes you want to just. So this is like the 80-20 rule, right? You guys have heard of the 80-20 rule. Pareto's principle is that we want to really spend 80% of time promoting the things that we're creating and like 20% creating. And I know that sounds crazy because it's like, what? But we're creators. We're like content creators. But the thing is if you don't have strategies in place to draw eyes to that content, then what's the point? You're going to end up with a hot, better mess like we had in the hot, better pop days, right? Because for us, we were definitely spending 80% of the time at Hot Better Pop, like creating all of our content. And then, probably 90% of the time creating content and like 10% drawing eyes to that content. And how can your content help anybody if they can't see it or find it, right? So we love the strategy of using that time of promotion. Like that's the time to engage on social media. So this last little thing here that says make tech your bitch, that is a philosophy and a part of our VLE digital culture. What that means is we do not let notifications drive our behavior. I'm going to say that again. Notifications do not drive our behavior. Believe it or not, we don't have notifications set up on our phone that tell us when somebody has commented, slid into our DMs, done this, done that. We don't have Instagram shouting at us all day long because that would make us absolutely bananas. And we would feel it would give us false urgency, like we need to go in there. So the only way that we can live without notifications running us is by having structure in place that we're opting into technology. So we have a schedule, and our schedule is driven by when we get the notification from later that it's time to post. That's the cue. Okay, I knew I was going to take a break at that time for social media engagement. I go in, we'll post it, and then that's the time that we'll spend, as Pua said, set a timer, 5 minutes. 5 minutes engaging, commenting, checking out what other people are up to, sharing other people's stuff, saying hi, and then we out. We're not trying to be connected all day long. So again, make tech your bitch, not the other way around.
The best motto ever. Awesome. And before we get into this last point here, I just want to reiterate that eventually, if you continue to move forward with your business, if you just keep going, which is like the most annoying, irritating advice, but it's true, right? Like consistency, just continue to create and get the word out and post and share. You will achieve whatever vision it is that you have for yourself and your business, including blowing up your social media. And we want you to be ready for that expansion, right? So if you have, so every post that you do, you really want to make sure that you have some sort of call to action in the content itself, right? So maybe you say like, link in bio, and they go to your bio and it's a link to your website. Make sure your website is ready for that expansion. Make sure that your programs are ready for an influx of clients. Make sure that you have, the inventory that you need for your products to fly off the shelves. And also make sure that you're ready emotionally for all of the things that are going to come your way, all of the wonderful posts of praise and of gratitude. And also just know that it is inevitable with social media growth. will come the trolls, will come the negativity, right? And I just saw this heartbreaking video from this blogger, and she'd been blogging for 15 years, and just in the last few years, her blog blew up. And with that came just the most horrendous comments I have ever heard of in my life, to the point where she wasn't eating because she was so depressed. She was suicidal. She didn't want to go outside. She didn't want to continue to blog. She didn't want to continue to write, which was the one thing that lit her up for so long. And, you hear like, don't listen to them. Don't let it get to you. You're awesome. You're great. But when it's happening to you, it's much more difficult to connect back to that. So it is imperative now to join communities and get support, and know that there are places for you to reach out to when that shit does come at you, right? So join our tribe, because we are there to lift you up. This is a tribe of cheerleaders. And if anybody in there ever says anything effed up, we kick them out, because that is not that is not the community that we're nurturing. We are there to support you in all aspects of your business. And we're not saying to be fearful of this, right? But just don't feed the trolls. Delete the comments if they're negative, if they're not serving you in your community, and just like have an open heart and be ready for the abundance and all of the other positive things that are going to come when you do have a beautiful flowing schedule and you're loving your life and you're loving your business and you're loving your clients and your customers and everything feels really, really good. Okay. Just wanted to kind of throw that out there. So this is our last step here in this training. And then we have a few other slides coming after this, and then a Q&A. So thank you guys for sticking around with us. So here we will advise to set up a business account on your Instagram and get really familiar with the analytics, both on Instagram and on Facebook. And if you guys have questions about this, we're happy to jump on with you. We can do a call, we can share your screen and walk you through the analytics for each of these platforms, because they're very involved and they're very informational, but you kind of want to know what you're looking for and where to find it. Again, as Kimi talked about that 80-20 analysis, where are you getting your best return on investment? And this doesn't always have to be a financial investment. A lot of times, we want to track our time and our energy as well. So if we are putting a lot of time and energy into something, are we getting the results from that we're hoping for? Results, again, not always being financial, but perhaps the results of people clicking to go to your website, booking a call, leaving a comment, liking your post, engaging, right? So starting to look at these analytics and tracking all of these different things will help you to know where to spend more and less of your time and your energy and your money, right? Again, what do you love about the things that you've been doing? What feels light? What feels fun? What excites you? Build more of that into your schedule. And then what feels heavy? What do you not love so much? What feels difficult? What do you kind of dread every week? And take that list and think about how you can perhaps outsource it, right? Could you hire somebody? Could you hire a freelancer? What could you maybe limit your time doing, right? If there's something that you don't really love, but you know it's important, maybe set a time limit, half an hour, get it over with at the very beginning of your week, at the very beginning of your day, so that you can spend the rest of your day doing things that you love. Make sure you are always, always, always giving yourself, again, the grace and the space to mess up, right? To put things out there that make you feel a little bit cringy, knowing that there is nothing that you can do to really screw this up. Truly. Like people talk about, screwing up the algorithm and all these things that you can do to make your social media not get as many followers and reach. And it just doesn't matter. What matters most is your service. What matters most is your quality of life, and that you are doing things that you love and make you feel good, right? So again, create that schedule, rinse and repeat, make the adjustments that you need, and just be light on yourself.
Yay. Perfect. Perfect. Hey, it's changing. It's shifting.
Transition music.
Transition. All right. Okay, so I want you to think back to when you clicked register. What inspired you to be here today, right? Maybe social media is like that thing, again, maybe it was on your list of things that you wanted to master this year, social media marketing. Maybe you've been feeling frustrated like we were right? Back in hot butter pop days, trying to figure out, actually, I swear to God, I don't even want to say hot butter pop anymore because I feel like people are going to go follow that.
Don't go searching for that.
Don't go searching. Actually, you can. Then you can bring it up to 122 subscribers. But really, perhaps you're not seeing the results that you want to, or you're feeling like this is just heavy, or, for us, like, it was like, kept trying. It was like, God, why does this thing feel like it's eating up so much of our time? Right. And,
sorry. Here, I'm just going to give you all of them.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh my gosh. And, again, this may feel heavy to you. And that's why we created this whole training. And we love talking about social media because so many people come to us and they feel like, there's just so much heavy energy around it. Right. And that heavy energy, it just feels like it's like, sorry, I have to say it this way, but like cock blocking their joy and their success. Okay. And really, we want to make this fun. Like, as an entrepreneur, there is going to be enough heavy. There's going to be enough frustration. And so, again, as was said, like, surround yourself with people that can support you throughout this journey, and don't feel like social media has to be this heavy thing that you have as well. It's so funny. Yeah. Julie mentioned the screen time, right? She just realized how much screen time she was spending on Instagram. And isn't it so cool? We all have this new awareness now, right? About our screen time because of, thanks to that new Apple update. And if you have found that you're spending so much time on Instagram, yes, we can absolutely, by using these strategies, you can absolutely cut down on that time. And imagine, what could you be doing with that time, right? So when we used to teach our corporate clients all the time, we were showing up, giving them all these productivity, time, and energy strategies to create more time. But the first thing we always started with was like, do not implement any of these strategies until you have a plan for what you're going to do with that extra time. And we will ask the same of you right now. Like, we do not want you to start using any of these without first taking a little bit of time, journal down, and tell yourself, how are you going to use the time that you're going to free up? Because you're going to free up hours using this strategy. So do you want to be using that time to connect more, right? To get outside more, to take care of your health? Like, what are the ways that you're going to use this extra time? Because what happens is nature abhors a vacuum, as they say. So if you don't have a plan or an intention for that time that you're going to be saving, then you're going to end up filling it with other shit. You're going to end up filling it with something else, maybe perhaps other low-level stuff. So really bring some intention to how you're going to use the time. And maybe you're here because you were Googling us, you heard about our program, you've been following us on Instagram, enrollment is open, you've heard the buzz about Broke Ass to Badass, and you want to hear what it's all about. Maybe you're a podcast fan. Maybe you just want to hang out with us, which we absolutely love. Yay. This has been super fun so far. So thank you for being here today.
All right. So real quick, social media can and will transform your business, right? Like, we are here because it has transformed ours. And again, we're always just trying to share what we've learned with everybody so that they can take it, run with it, and not spend as much time learning it as we did. And I mean, you're here because you are invested in yourself. You're invested in your business, and you're willing to take the action to sit through an hour and a half of us talking to learn the strategies to build your business, right? And again, social media is a sliver of the pie, right? So we just want to share with you guys a little bit about some of the other resources that we have that will teach about the other parts of the pie. And these are tips, again, that we have tested and proven. This is how we run our business. We're not just throwing shit out there because we think it sounds great, And I like everything that we teach in our program is shit that we do every day. I shouldn't say that. Wonderful things that we do every day.
I like the way you say it. I like the way you say it. And it makes it so much easier too. And we recommend that for you guys as well. Like, it's so much harder. I've worked for many jobs where I was showing up and having to teach or share about something that I didn't believe in or I didn't do. And let me tell you, the flip side is so much easier. Like, just share what what lights you up, what you know, what you do. And somebody is going to find that of value, and you're going to help so many people.
Totally. And I mean, so, okay, for you guys to take this and run with it means that you will create, as Kimi said, so much extra time. It's going to be freaking bananas. And we want you, again, to be intentional about how you spend that time and to really internalize the fact that when you implement these, you can create your social media, all of your content in an hour. You can build your business in this way, and you will, right? Like, this is all about intention. This is all about stepping into your power, owning your gifts, owning your time, and really being the badass entrepreneur that we know that you are, right? You know exactly where to post and when. You know how to create engaging social media because it's the kind of things that you engage with on other people's social media, right? Like, you've already tested this yourself. It is so epic, right? And again, like, we have cracked the code for this and for other parts of business. And what we've learned over the course of all of our time in all of the different spaces that we've been in, and now in, over a year of working only with entrepreneurs, is that many business owners are phenomenal at the service that they provide. Fitness coaches, health coaches, jewelry makers, people who make like little 12-year-old kids who make jujitsu gis and send them all over the world, right? These are things that our clients have done and love to do. Now, there are parts of business that come with all of this that are things that we don't love to do, right? We don't love all aspects of our business just as a human. And as many solopreneurs, unfortunately, for at least when you start out, you are taking on all of those different aspects of your business and you're wearing all those different hats. So part of our mission here is to be your business partner and to share with you what we've learned, to teach you the strategies that have taken us years to learn, and so that you can take them and go from 0 to $1 million, or go from debt to going first class all over the world in a much shorter time frame than you would have figured out on your own. You guys are so smart. You would have figured it out on your own anyway, right? Like, we don't have any doubt about that. But it brings us so much joy to share this with you, because this is the freedom that most entrepreneurs start businesses to achieve. We start businesses to give ourselves the time, the energy, the financial freedom to do the things that we love with our life. We don't want to work 24 hours a day. We want to spend time with our family. We want to see the world. We want to go and do amazing things. We want to volunteer with other organizations, right? You deserve this freedom. And that is our underlying, like, the foundation of our mission is to give you the tools to achieve this freedom because you deserve it.
Boom.
I'm going to just drop my mic. No, I'm just kidding.
Do it. Don't drop your mic.
Don't break it.
All right. So the question is, it's pointing right at you. So how are you going to apply this system that we taught you today, right? Certainly, you can take everything that we shared today. You can go ahead, give it a try. Again, we're here to support you throughout that. But really, what we are here to share about today also is our program, Broadcast About Us. And again, we knew this was coming, and we love to share about our program, and we like to be really transparent that we're sharing about our program as well. Why? Well, for one, we absolutely believe in what we do, and we're so proud of it. And we love all of our badasses that have been through our program. They become our family. But also, we love sharing in this format too, because it helps us to teach our badasses, to teach all of you, like, this is what we do, right? Like, this is the online marketing space. You are a teacher. You are a leader. You are here. We know you. And we know that you have gifts to share. And part of that is, in our program, we teach people how to build online courses. We teach people how to do their social media. And so we love for you to learn at like being through this webinar process and seeing us share about our product and our service at the end of it from a place of true, authentic, like, sharing and authenticity and heart. Our heart to yours is such a valuable lesson in itself, because let this inspire you and let this help you think about what gifts you have to share with the world and how you can go out there and share a shit ton of content, have a blast doing it, and then share also how you can serve and support people beyond that if they are ready and excited to work deeper with you, which is exactly what we're going to talk about now. So
that was rad.
Yay, thanks. I love what we do. So what is B2B? Well, in case you didn't figure it out, B2B stands for broke ass to badass. B2B. And you'll see this if you are following us on Instagram, which I hope you are now. You'll see us. This week is so fun. The next couple weeks is so fun. We're focusing on all of our program graduates. And so we're doing a lot of B2B member features. And so you'll see the word B2B, B2B, B2B a lot. And B2B is what all of our program graduates have affectionately come to call our program. And we call our B2B graduate family is like our B2B fam, really anybody that's been through our program. So this is our 8-week experience. And we're really careful, like we don't want to just call this an online course because that does not do it justice at all. This is not your typical online course where you go and you just go in there and you go through some modules. No, this is a movement. This is a family. And this is a total transformational experience. And it is a step-by-step, course with online content for sure, but also live group coaching calls. And again, that family and that supportive community that you become a part of forever. Okay. Forever. I mean, until you want to leave. we won't hold it against you. But really from start to finish, we walk you through everything. So yes, social media is a part of it, but this is like how to build an online business. And it starts all with that like foundation of clarity that we talked about, right? We really brushed over that today, but it's so important. So it's about getting clarity about your mission, who your people are, what your vibe is, what your branding is, what your mission is. We take you through all of this just in the first couple weeks. And then we take you through building, growing, scaling your business from a foundation of productivity, efficiency, and freaking joy and badassery. Again, so that you're building your business from the ground up in a way that is sustainable. This is so important to us. We want to make sure that as you grow, as you are setting the intention to grow and expand, and that as you do, you can hold the capacity for that physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and that your business can handle that expansion, and that we're there with you every step of the way as you expand. And any roadblocks that you hit, this community is there to hold your hand, and guide you through it. This is the supportive family. And not all of us, are blessed to have those around us that understand entrepreneurship. That's what this community is. That's what this program is about. And that's what we are here to support you with.
Totally. Okay, so what exactly is this program? Oh, yeah, it's fine. You can see it here too. Okay, so, and also all of this information is actually taken directly from our website. So if you do want to learn more about all the things that this program has in store, you can go over to brokeasstobadass.com and check all of this out. So as Kimmy said, this takes you from the very foundation of your business, whether you're just starting out or you've been doing this for a while and you've been kind of stuck in these different pits of entrepreneurial challenge. We take you all the way back. We walk you through a really, really deep, big vision process. We do a lot of productivity specifically for entrepreneurs. There's that prioritization matrix. You guys can learn more about that. And then right from there, we get really clear on who you are, what you do, who you serve, how you serve. We'll take you through, pricing, creating an offer, if it's an online course, if you're a coach, if you have a product. All of these things are not only addressed, but they are nurtured in this program. And one of the really cool things, I'll give you guys a little heads up, and actually nobody knows this yet, but we're adding in this really, really exciting new component in this next cohort. So if there are any current B2B members in here, guys, listen up, because you guys also will have access to this in some capacity or another. We haven't quite fleshed that out yet, but we are in the first couple of weeks, we are going to host a live event. So if you're not, we're in Hawaii, and it's going to be hosted here in Hawaii for this first round. But we are also going to stream it live, so you guys will be able to get access to it no matter where you are. But this event is going to be, we did a MVP training earlier on, and if you don't know what that is, it stands for Minimum Viable Product. I won't get into it too much, but essentially this live event is going to take you from concept to creating a sale in one day. So we're going to take your concept, we're going to flesh it out, we're going to create a game plan, we'll build a landing page, we'll build a sales page, and we'll market and sell your concept and see if it's viable all in that one day early on in the course, right? So think about that. That's like really cool. Plus the bonuses that you get. It's like so awesome. We're so excited for this.
And it's in real life. Like,
and it's in real life. I know. So epic. So
live
epic.
event.
Anyway.
And like, yeah, sorry, you have to come to Hawaii. So sorry.
You're welcome to fly here. That'd be rad.
So you can tell we love what we do and we believe in what we do. And that is why we have a mother money back guarantee. So this is how much we believe in what we do, guys. And if you show up, if you do the work, this is a no risk opportunity for you, because if you show up and you do the work and you find that after completing all the coursework and being on the calls and having us there at your side, having this community there, going through all the 8 weeks of training, that it was not the right fit for you, we will provide a full refund, because we are here to make sure that you succeed. That is why we do what we do. And so, yeah, just know that, let that comfort you. If this is something that gives you a little bit of like, okay, it helps you to take that, like, yes, I am ready to take inspired, imperfect action right now. All of our badasses, it's so consistent. The messaging is that saying yes to this program is what took them from like being on the edge, just daydreaming, just thinking about what they wanted to be doing, to diving in and actually effing doing it. Right? There's a difference between just dreaming about what you want to do and talking about it and planning it and analyzing it and doing it and being that podcaster, being that influencer, being that published author, being that lifestyle brand photographer, being that whatever it is that you want to be. So this is about being in a place that is going to support you as you take that badass leap towards the vision of the life that you have been dreaming of.
So to do that, all you have to do is go to brokeasstobadass.com. All the details about the course are there. If you need any reminders or if you have any questions, you can always book a call with us also. So on that page, there's a little widget at the bottom. It's yellow. And if you click on that, you can book a call. You can send us an email. We are always here. Oh yeah, it's a tax write-off too. It is absolutely a business tax write-off. But we are here to answer your questions. And we honor action takers like so much. So if this sounds exciting to you, if you are ready, let's do it.
We hope you enjoyed this training. And if you are listening to this on the podcast, and if you have listened all the way through this training and you're still here, we want to honor you and your commitment to yourself, to learning, to your business by extending those bonuses that you heard us talk about in this training. We're going to extend those to you as well. So the social media analysis, the year-long subscription to our BLE Digital Lab with all of the courses that we have available in that membership, we want to offer that to you when you register and enroll for Broke Ass to Badass. So all you need to do is, after you enroll, let us know that you heard this on the podcast. Just shoot us an email at hello@bledigital.com. You can also put it in the referral box when you enroll. Just let us know, reach out to us, let us know that you heard this on the podcast, and that's what inspired you to join our B2B family. And we're going to give you those bonuses as well as part of our gift to you, again, for saying yes to your soul, saying yes to yourself, and making this the year that you go from broke ass to badass.